love. Ha. What up, Music Club? Peace and blessings. How are you? Sabbath is officially over, so there is no Shabbat Shalom. Nonetheless, though, I still wish you Shalom. Anytime is a good time for peace, especially internal peace. What gives you internal peace? I just wonder. There's, there was a time in my existence where I wondered that about myself. Where would I find my peace? Now, depending on my stage of development and education of self, my answer varied. Some things, well, I say my answer varied. Hindsight being 2020, all of it was illusionary, had no power, no depth, no substance. So they all burned off, faded into the nothingness from which they came, making a bunch of noise, looking cute, looking pretty, looking fly. But don't touch it though, don't get too close because the illusion will shatter and leave you empty in more ways than one. So as you contemplate for yourself, what do you think? Me? Obviously, I was thinking about it. I wouldn't be talking about it right now. I'm sitting here at the end of my day, and though I can say there'll always be something I don't have transpire in the day that may leave me feeling like I ain't get everything that I wanted, to satisfy myself for the day, I can always say that I am content with the unfolding of my day and peaceful with everything that goes on, everything that went on. Today was not every day is a lesson. I learned a few good things today. For instance, I met a guy named Jorge. Jorge. I believe that was his name. It could have been something different. I had to catch a person's name a few times before I stick it in my brain. But he was an interesting character, a good character. He had his own story, as we all. And I won't share his story, but hey, it was his story. At some point, though, I thought I was gonna get him to share his story on here on my platform, but things didn't work out that way because I was asked to leave the establishment before I saw him again. Nonetheless, not only did I get the opportunity to bring glory to Yahweh through conversation with him, but I got a chance to see his perspective and view of aspects of life, both where he had been and where he emerged from. And that is always interesting to me, to read people's stories when they reach out with their energy. But I'm not talking about that right now. It's always a pleasure when the spirit of Yah is gonna be in the house. And of course, if I'm there, nothing else can happen. No, but not all the time do conversations come back to Yah. Very few times that they don't. And in fact, if the conversation go too long without his spirit, I'm out the conversation. I just fade to dark and let y'all have that. So it's always a pleasure for me and a joy. I feel like everything I do is his work, but that's a more direct aspect of doing his work that I enjoy, and I get my joy from whatever transpires with the person I'm engaging. Okay, enough of that. But that was a good part of my day, though. Not only did that meeting be a blessing for him in the ways that he was able to be blessed through our conversations, but he was able to be a blessing to me. Yeah, I had a really fat chicken burger sandwich, and it was fun to eat that thing too. Um, Along with French fries. Yeah. So yeah, I got some fuel for my body. Got some fuel for the spirit. Gave out some fuel. Got it. It's just very pleasant experience, especially with a stranger. Stranger being somebody with whom I've never beheld my eyes. Guess that didn't come out right. Somebody whom my eyes had never beheld. I suppose what's fair is fair in this case, because maybe I don't know how long it was beforehand, but I had gone and got me some donuts, a bag of powdered donuts and some Doritos to tide me over, And there was a guy that I saw, and this is being related so that, at some point in your life, your journey, you might see somebody like this, and it might not be a bad idea to do the same kind of thing. So I'm sitting, enjoying watching, I don't know what cartoon I was watching, Star Wars Rebels or something like that, probably. But at any rate, I was aware of a presence, not far from me sitting at the table. Eventually, because I was watching the thing, but I was also meditating too, so I really wasn't paying attention to my surroundings like that. But I noticed that this presence was there, and it was kind of heavy, silent but heavy. So I roused myself and spoke to the guy. Hey man, you all right? He had his hands in his head. Well, he had his head in his hands. That would be wild. Or would it be to have your hands in your head? Yeah, that would be wild. Okay, anyway. Yeah, that's like some twisted cartoon. Oh, something to mess with the mind. Put your hands in your head. Anyway, he had his head in his hands.
Many pieces of luggage look alike. Make sure the numbers on your claim ticket and your
So
baggage are the same. Please keep small children away from the baggage belt at
I
all
said, hey, bro,
times.
you all
Thank
right?
you.
He say, so that indicated to me whatever he was going through or feeling at the moment, he wasn't trying to be vocal with it. He wasn't trying to share in it. He wanted to deal with it on his own. Cool. Respect that. You gotta respect that. I don't know his personality like that enough to say to override that choice, for whatever reason that it may be necessary. So I backed off. However, I said, you know what? This might work. Cause what kid don't like cake and donuts, right? Not that this man was a kid. He wasn't. He was grown. Maybe I'll gauge him in his early to mid 30s. So at any rate, I grabbed my bag of donuts and I offered him one. He's like, hey man, you want some donuts? Yeah, it might cheer you up. And he accepted. One, I offered for him to get more than that. And he said, so he just still didn't want to use his words, or maybe he couldn't, I don't know. But he indicated that one was enough for him. But the cool thing about it is, he smiled. And after he ate his donut, he went on about his business. So I get the feeling that he felt better. He was ready to tackle the rest of his day with better cheer. And that's what it's about. So the fact that the father turned around and sent me a whole meal is not really surprising. It's just always how he do things. Yahweh I'm talking about. Cause that guy's funny. You ask him for something, he'll get to you. You just don't know how you're gonna get it. But I have to say that even with a personality such as mine that becomes frustrated at things not going militarily precise like I want it to be all the time. When I do get the answers to things that he give me, it's always 100% of the time perfect. Perfect timing, perfect packaging, perfect insights, perfect to contemplate everything, you know? And so I stay saying, thank you, Yahweh. Bless is the name of Yahweh. Yahweh is the greatest. You are the man. You the master. Yeah, all that. But I wanted you to think about the second story I related because, again, you never know where you'll be at. You know, it could be anywhere. Public, work, play, just passing through. See somebody who is visibly in distress, and you're using your spirit sense to detect the sincerity of that distress versus nonsense and foolery. Hey, it's all right to stop and share some goodness with that person. You know, you can give out some good energy. It's not going to hurt. I mean, if you do get into a situation where, because there are people who are so in disrepair that they can't be repaired, yet they're able to draw your energy. So you have to be careful because what's supposed to happen is like something like jumping a car. It had a dead battery, you know, it's wintertime, right? And you know, you hook a battery up to another battery, leave it sit for, depending on how dead the battery is, you know, say 20 minutes. That's way more than enough time to bring back an almost dead battery, right? So you give out that energy to help this battery get up to speed so its alternator can help it stay up to speed, right? You go in there and you plug up to this battery, and this battery is just draining your energy, and it's not raising its own level of energy stored up. You got to unplug because though it won't kill you per se, it will kill you slowly in the most vital ways. You need your energy. You know, you need your energy. And if you're going to share your energy, be careful to share your energy only with those who can appreciate your energy and grow from and with your energy. Otherwise, it's a waste and it's a detriment to yourself. I had to learn that the long way. Yeah, Yahweh told me. A lot of things Yahweh told me, I had to try for myself. Get all deep into it. See what it feel like, see what it tastes like, see what it smell like. That way I can master it. I'm not recommending that you go that route though. If you do, when you come out on the other side and you come out in one piece, you will be extremely blessed. The only reason I don't recommend it though is because just like the scripture says, that type of journey is not for the faint of heart. And if you're not ready and you're not together, you can and will be crushed, lost. You know what I'm saying? So take your time, get in the scripture, take the space to do what Yahweh say, hey, you know what? You got questions? Ask me. Yahweh ain't like that. He don't want to hide nothing from you. You know, he says, my people die for lack of knowledge. So when you go to him with your questions, he's not going to hide nothing from you. He going to answer you. You might not know how he going to answer you. You might not know when he going to answer you. But you can rest assured that you will be answered. And when you be answered, that answer will be right on time. All the people used to know that. Then they turned it or let it become a cliche thing to say. You know what you do with cliches, right? You use them, then wipe your butt with them and flush them down the toilet. Yahweh's word was never meant to be a cliche. It's meant to be learned, used, reflected on, revered, respected, useful, helpful, guiding, uplifting. I can go on and on and on, as you can tell. But you get the point, so I don't have to. So, it's all a part of being obedient to one of Yeshua's last commands. What did he say? Best thing you could do, love one another. All right? That was the essence of Yeshua. He had to learn that. Every creature that lives as a human has to learn that. And that's a journey. That's a journey in yourself, you know? Can't have it any other kind of way. You can't ride my journey. I can't ride in your journey. But we're not built the same. We're not the same, you know? We only get to share a similar experience in three-dimensional existence. To try to get it right, you know? And I think, and I really believe this, I think if you can hear this, or if you can see this, you can do it. You got what it takes. Because it starts in here. That's the actual acting of, well, I should say action of getting in line with your higher self and the spirit thereof from Yahweh.
May I have your attention, please?
Before then, has to come from in here.
Please do not leave your baggage unattended at any time.
If you don't have it in here,
Please report it immediately.
you won't be able to stand here.
Law enforcement personnel.
You ain't have it in here, this would be so boring to you. You'd be like, I don't want to hear that stuff. Let's talk about Ratchet. But you know what though? I like Ratchet too. You know, I'm gonna show you a good example of the Ratchet I like. I like the Ratchet that relates part of the story of Satan, his listening ways, like when he interacted with Job, Eov. Father asked him, man, where you been? He said, I was down there on earth walking back and forth, looking to see who I can devour. Now, if that ain't scandalous, I don't know what is. Here you are, born of peace, born of light, born of heavenly knowledge, choosing to stand in heaven talking about how you want to disrupt peace and bragging about the fact that you out here trying to get people to follow your wicked ways just because. I don't know about you, but to me, that's scandalous. That's bold. That's some stuff worth talking about. See, because especially in a time like today, because in a time like today, this is when we get to see those that are faithful to the Spirit of Yahweh. We get to see physical representations of Satan getting his butt kicked. See, because he's been relaxing for too long. You know, running out here with his false gods and false deities and false ideas and attacking people and, like you say, walking back and forth through the earth, seeing whom he could devour. But he knew his time was up. He knew he wasn't going to be here for forever. So now the righteous get to watch him. Burn, baby, burn, run, run, run. Yeah. And eventually die off, cast out, never to return again. Oh, happy day, ding dong, the witch is dead. And so is her awful king. Okay. I'm just digging into my darkness a little bit. Why not? It could be liberating. All right, though. I'm not suggesting you dig off into your darkness either. I do suggest that you embrace your darkness. You know what it is. You understand it so that you can master it and be a whole person. Don't be denying yourself like, I'm so good, I don't think bad thoughts, and that's not even realistic, you know? Otherwise, Yahweh wouldn't have been wise enough to say in his word, it's okay to think evil thoughts. What is not okay to do is to act those evil thoughts out. All right? Instead of acting those evil thoughts out or allowing those evil thoughts to affect your influence on yourself in this world, you deal with it in there. Evil thoughts come, recognize what they are, dig into them, embrace them, see what it's all about, see where it comes from. Find out where it comes from, kill it at its root. How you kill it at its root? Ask the Father how to find out where it comes from. Y'all take that journey together into yourself. Get to the root by all means necessary. This is where you unleash your rage. Destroy it righteously. That way, it won't be coming back to bother you in this physical world. Dealt with all back there. Gave it to the Father. Father did what you gonna do with it, and you just keep on rolling. All right? Building your faith every time you do that. And it works for everything. It's like the small ways the enemy come and whisper to you. Like, for instance, enemy, Yahweh say, you say to Yahweh, Yahweh, I need to be the son or the daughter that you want me to be so that I can find or attract or be attracted to all of the above, that perfect mate for me that you promised, with whom I can have that joy and everlasting life and all the good things that come with the bond that you say is most precious to you between man and a woman, so precious you say, let none take them asunder.
May I have your attention, please? Baggage for Delta, flight 5264.
Then he give you that. Well, give you the opportunity to have that.
Many bags look alike.
But then the enemy come
baggage ticket number.
and put other stuff in your path that causes you to think against the answer to your blessings. Most times it is translated to some type of fear. Fear what somebody says, fear what other people do, fear what other people say, fear. Nothing to do with you though. You know what I'm saying? When you think about what's in you, the old thing was, wait a minute, I put out a request to my father. My father says, as long as I'm righteous, he will hear my request. Not only will he hear my request, but he has answered my request as soon as I made the request known to him. And we don't want you to take hold of that because that's your blessing. You ask for a blessing and your father say he's going to give it to you, give it to you. No, I don't want you to have that. So he's going to do everything in his power. We only have power in here if you give it to him to stop you from having your blessing. Put doubt in you, still fear, put procrastination in you, try to discourage you, or discourage your partner through your inactions or whatever. Whatever it takes to disrupt your paradise and your peace. So this is why I say this applies to every. It's okay to think those things because you're human. In the flesh, as Ralph Shaol pointed out, living in the flesh in itself is living in evil because the flesh naturally wants to do the opposite of what the spirit wants. This is how the enemy, the spirit of Satan, gets to travel around as a human being. All right? But you made a different choice when you made a covenant inside yourself with Yahweh inside you. You made a choice to say, nah, I'm not taking Satan's cup. It's unfulfilling. It's an illusion. It's a continual letdown. In fact, instead, I'm going to take a hold to the covenant of Yahweh, which is truth, which is, what does the word say? Everything that he do is meant for your good and not to hurt you, right? Can Satan say that? Nope. No. So I can say, you can use it how you want, but don't be hard on yourself for having thoughts. Just understand where those thoughts come from. Get to the root of it. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself. Kill the root. You never have to worry about it again. You ain't gonna, not say you ain't gonna stop trying. You know, like, oh yeah, you know what? I understand that this doubt comes from the fact that people in my past didn't treat me in a nice kind of way, and I was damaged by that through pain. And that's how the enemy got into my psyche. So now I'm actively working against my blessings. So once you understand that, then you know how to direct the forces of heaven in you. You know? So Father, I'm done with that. Give me the strength I need to reject the influence of the evil one. That's why you say a prayer every day. Our Father in the heavens, set apart is your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in the heavens. Give us this day our daily bread and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Do not bring us into trial, but deliver us from the influence of the evil one. For yours is the kingdom and the power and glory. Amen. Right? So now you done told them what time it is. You done read the devil is ride the riot act. You let them know. I know this. Not only do I know this, I believe this, I use this, I'm gonna stand on this, and then comes the other part of the word where he say the devil must flee. You know what must mean? Anywho, it's okay to have the thoughts. It's just not okay to allow the enemy to defeat you through those thoughts because you're stronger than that. And that's not what your father gave you. He gave you the illusion of this physical world, starting with the illusion of your physical self that will continually try to pump you full of illusions in order to steal, kill, and destroy. Have you heard that before? You know who proudly wears those attributes? You guessed it. The enemy of man. Hashatan. Satan. Beelzebub. Molech. Whatever name you going by.
And you guys are early too.
He's thanking every one of them though. So you'll recognize him. Especially you. You got the heart, getting the mind, getting the discipline, getting that alignment, getting that energy of new life. Yeah. You understanding what new life means now. Yeah. That's what it's all about. I guess I just want to tell you good night. I had a full day. Interesting. I'm glad for my full day. Got to talk to you. I'm done talking to you. Get off my device. Nah, yeah. I'm thinking about, actually, I'm thinking about my day today. It was great. It was. Oh yeah. I tell you, it was a first for me. I share a first for me. I went to a couple of different hotels to hang out, and one of them, I attempted to talk a guy into comping me a room. Didn't work, but it was fun to try. Because you know what? It sparked an idea. It all happened all at once. I was there contemplating, what I was contemplating and doing whatever I was doing. Then I thought, this is kind of like I had just had the idea, like, of something to do. And it's going to get done. But the idea was born. Maybe it wasn't born tonight. I think I might have had this idea before, but it wasn't really developed to anything until I was actually in the place. But yeah, basically it's just the idea to have a musical FD3 music club. I don't want to call it a show, because I'm not for being nobody's show. Yeah, I ain't got nothing against showmen. I got some great showmen and women. I'm just not a show person. Cause that indicates falseness to me, phoniness. And ain't nothing phony or false about me, even if I wanted to be and I tried to be, I couldn't be. Plus, I'm nobody's entertainment. Well, I'm Yahweh's entertainment. And instead that, like today, one of the things I contemplated while I was enjoying my meal, I was being grateful for the fact that I had the meal. And I was being grateful for Yahweh for guiding me every step that I take. Like I ask him every day, God, order my steps. So I'm being thankful, grateful, enjoying my sandwich. And physically, I wanted to move. And that's my personal worship. As I was moving and enjoying and
May I have your
contemplating,
attention, please? Baggage for United Airlines, Flight 2335, arriving from Newark, may be picked up at plane 2.
I don't like
Many
talking over
bags look
stuff.
alike. Please check all bags with your baggage ticket number.
So I was doing my contemplation and enjoying and being grateful. And I was doing so to my music. Father returned my, well, never mind. I got my music back. So I was listening to my music. And then, just zoning and doing my thing. The thought crossed my mind. Actually, I remember something from a movie, Jackie Chan. Uh, maybe the first Rush Hour. Jackie Chan and Chris Rock were Chris Rock, Chris Tucker. Yeah, Chris Tucker, not Chris Rock. They was on the dance floor though, and Chris Tucker was doing his thing, how he do his thing, and looking at it at the time, I remember thinking, yeah, okay, I guess that's normal for you. You go out to the club, you see a brother dancing, and okay, cool, he's doing his thing. But Jackie Chan didn't know how to dance like Chris Rock. In fact, his concept of dance was completely different. His concept of dance is what I call his worship. What he practiced, what he do. And there was a crossover there to where he started doing his thing to the music. So he merged his worship with his music. How that's always significant, I don't know. I mean, I probably because I understand it. And basically, it translates to me is do your thing. And if you happen to be to a beat, then so be it. But I ain't your dancer. I ain't your entertainment. And this is not for your pleasure. You feel me? That kind of thing. Does that make sense to you? Makes perfect sense to me. Anywho, I'm going to enjoy me some chips because I still got some Doritos. Didn't get no Skittles. Man, listen. Of course, you already know. Things are expensive. I mean, that's cool, but things that shouldn't be expensive are expensive.
From Atlanta may be picked up at plane 3. Many bags look alike. Please check all bags with your baggage ticket
Today I
number.
got a bag of Doritos, a bag of powdered donuts, and for those two items, I paid $20, 22 maybe. I understand for inflation. I just don't understand how a bag of chips that used to be $1.50, $1.75 max is now $7 with change. That just don't seem like inflation to me. Or how a bag of tiny donuts go from being $1.50 to $6. Especially when you can go to a place where they sell donuts or whatever and get like a whole bag of donut holes, which is the same size as that, is just in a different configuration for what, 20 cents a piece or something? Yeah, I just don't believe in this inflation stuff. I never did. It's just, but I'm not even on that. It just amazes me sometimes, even though I know what it is. It's still shock when it shows. Just like gas. I was looking at gas just in passing, and the place I saw was advertising gas for 3.9 a gallon. And I asked myself, is that good or not? No, I was never able to keep up with it because my default says, yeah, I remember a time when gas was 78 cents a gallon, and that was a lot. Then I seen it go to paying more than $1.30 to $2, 2.50, 2.85. And man, I remember people panicking. 2.85, man, gas is high as a mug. Nobody paying no 2.85. I'm going around the corner, down the street, down the block of the road. I'll spend $5 to go save $20 and and gas is $5. Gas is $7. Gas is $9. Then I guess it calmed down. So if you look at it from a perspective of how high it got, and you say, well, now it's like $4. Guess you might say, oh, it ain't so bad. Inflation, politication. Anywho, I don't know. I guess it's a irritant because people got enough stuff to worry about and deal with than to be having to worry about being able to afford food that you can grow from the ground, being able to buy water that comes from the sky, water that's piled up in clean lakes and oceans. And, okay, maybe not the ocean, but you know, you still got goo gabbles of fresh water. But you got people living in cities paying for water. And I don't even mean just like, I'm gonna charge you for my recycled bottle 50 cents, 75 cents. You got $1 in your pocket, walking down the street, enjoying your day, enjoying your afternoon or something. It's hot, be thirsty. Can't go in the store and get you a water bottle. $1. You funny. Oh man, I thought I was charging up here. I just got an indication that my battery about to die. So I was receiving no charge. Bear with me. Uh-oh. That don't work either. Well, y'all, I'm sure I probably said goodbye. And I didn't mean it. But it looked like my device is okay. I gotta find a different area because these plugs are whack and they ain't working. So, we love you at the FD3 Music Club. Wish you a good night, good dreams. Hope in your dreams you have fun. Contemplate some things that'll help you grow, elevate, raise your vibrations, make you want to wake up tomorrow and be happy, be joyous, make somebody else happy, joyous, put a smile on your face and somebody else's too, maybe. And just, you know, kind of keep you in your space of peace, surety, growth, self-love, love, elevation, positivity, make you strong. That's where your strength comes from. Yeah. Did I say we love you? We love you again anyway. Yahweh loves you all the time. Over and over and over and over and over again. Go inside you and ask him. He'll show you. For real, for real. Not for play, for play. Though it's okay to play. Just not with him. No. I love you, Kim. All right, I get my advice to the doctor. I'm sick of seeing this thing flash, and I'm glad I don't have my sound on because it'd be beep beep, beep beep, beep beep, and all that. And I gotta blow my nose and eat my Doritos and maybe continue my cartoon watching. I started like a 5-hour marathon. And I only watched like an hour and a half. So yeah, maybe I'll get into that. Since I'm unable to get into whom I would like. Anywho, I love you, Kel. Night, everybody. Peace, one love under y'all. Rest well, rise better.